Alright guys, welcome back to another reaction video. My name is James.
I'm Nobu.
And today we are going to be watching Band of Brothers episode 9. So this is the penultimate episode. I have no idea what we're going to be watching after this. I know a lot of people have said to watch. There's another World War II television show called The Pacific. A lot of other people have said to watch that. So, I mean, feel free to leave whatever future television show suggestions in the comments. But penultimate episode, like we always say, at least I generally find, that's the wildest episode of the season or the show or whatever. Where we were headed into Germany, or at least that seemed to be what they implied.
Yep.
At the end of the last episode. So I don't really know what's gonna happen here. I don't know. It's kind of impossible to know. And so many of the historical things have been so wild to begin with.
Well, I feel like it should be winding down, kind of like.
I think so too. I don't know a lot about the history when it comes to kind of like going through Germany at the end, like very much at all. So I don't know if there were elements of that went badly. I'm assuming there might be. I don't know. I don't know kind of how like messily that all went. So we'll see. As always, though, full-length reaction is going to be up on the Patreon. The next week's reaction, episode 10, is going to be up for early access if you guys want to go ahead and check that out. And yeah, thank you just for being here. Thank you for joining us, for watching. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. Hopefully you stick around. And let's just get into Band of Brothers episode 9.
As the war went along, we found out also that it wasn't the Germans per se.
A lot of those soldiers, I've thought about this often. That man and I might have been good friends. We might have liked to fish, you know, he might have liked to hunt. You never know, you know. Of course, they were doing what they were supposed to do, and I was trying to do what I was supposed to do.
That's really interesting.
The fact that the soldiers
who did
say that.
Fought. Yeah. And I think it's such an interesting perspective because I feel like, specifically in relation to Nazis, you kind of have this terminology thrown around. And to see these men who literally saw people die, who literally were in the middle of combat, fighting the Nazis, going, look, it's not as simple as evil, you know, Jew-hating Nazis versus the good guys. It's just not as simple as that. And these were people trying to do a job, and we were people trying to do a job. I don't know. I think that's really interesting.
It is. Because even, like, a lot of people who haven't even experienced it don't even get that idea, you know, which is very interesting.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see where this goes. Because I would imagine we're probably trying to take a lot of prisoners.
Yeah, and then freeing, like, people from camps and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know how far, like, into...
Yeah. April 11th.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, we're, like, real close.
What month did the war end?
May, I believe.
May. Okay.
Early
okay.
May.
We're right here then.
Well, no, the war didn't end, but Germany, I believe, surrendered.
Surrendered formally in May?
Yeah.
Okay. This is so cool already. I think the destruction, man.
Yeah.
I think people underestimate the destruction of war, especially, yeah.
Yeah, especially back then, just because of you didn't have like exact, you know, like weapons that could target an exact thing or whatnot, and you didn't even, you know, you may not have the energy to even like to try to figure that out, right?
Yeah.
Alright, this one's got some, Judge. You grab the chicken, I'm gonna grab the eggs.
Good. Yeah, well, one guy's got the hard job.
Yeah.
Guten Tag. Hold on.
He's like, screw the chicken. I'm going for the chick.
Hold on. Hey, come on. I just want to talk to you. Hey, Frank. Hold on.
Did he get slapped?
Park. Jesus, come on.
Oh, yeah. Yes, he did.
Well, You deserve that.
That Captain Nixon? I think so. What the hell's he doing in his harness? I don't know.
Wait, what?
Maybe we jumped into Berlin. The war's over. Yeah, huh?
Either that or they're not supposed to be, like, looting, I'm assuming. I don't know.
I mean... Pretty sure everyone was just looting.
I don't know what was allowed, though. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. I think so. Same destination?
I'm pretty sure they allowed it.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I'll make sure it goes out first thing in the morning. Thank you, Brian.
Well, my question is why...
Home, sir. Finders keepers.
Why was he in his harness or whatever?
I don't know.
That's so strange.
Making combat jumps with the 17th. I'm in supply briefings all
Oh,
morning.
dang.
Wait, what?
Yeah, lucky me.
No, congratulations. 3 combat stars over his jump wings.
Not bad for someone who's never fired his weapon in combat, huh?
Really? Oh, not even with all the action we've seen? Not around.
Wow, what the heck?
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's...
Took a direct hit over the drop zone. I got out. 2 others got out.
Jeez.
The rest of the boys?
Oh, they blew up over Germany somewhere. Boom.
Well, tough situation.
Oh, yeah, the boys. Yeah, it's terrible. Oh, well, it wasn't me. You know, the real tragedy is they also lost their CO, so... Guess who gets to write all the letters home?
Dang.
And how is the good colonel?
Concerned?
About...
About what?
Drinking nothing but the VAT 69, huh?
Well, the finest for Mrs. Nixon's baby boy.
She'll be happy to hear that Sink is transferring you back down to Battalion S3.
What?
Wait, is he getting demoted?
Hear what I said, Nix? You've been demoted.
Yeah, demoted, gotcha.
Why?
Because I don't know how to tell them their kids never even made it out of the goddamn plane.
You tell them what you always tell them. Their sons died as heroes.
You really still believe that?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, and it's true. It's like,
It
is it
is.
as glorious as the stories? No, of course not. Like, real life never is. But it still doesn't mean there's not, you know, kind of a good cause behind it.
Yeah, what do you mean? They are still heroes just because they didn't do some crazy mission.
Smells sweet when the wind comes right behind the rain.
Sitting on your bayonet, baby? Why don't you do the singing to Luz? Unless you want to do like Shorty with the fringe on top, O'Keefe. That could be.
Dang, bro. My man just got...
Getting married.
So when do you think we're gonna jump into Berlin, see some real action?
What?
No?
So what? Want to go home with a Congressional Medal of Honor or something?
Well, I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah, why don't you do us all a favor? Don't think.
It's interesting to see that, like, you have some people, yeah, like some of the replacements or some people who didn't get action kind of being like, oh, I never got any action in the war.
Well, I'm
and then
sure
the
the
majority of people are kind of like, dude, I don't want to see anything. I just want to survive.
Well, because they've been in it.
Of
right?
course. It's just interesting.
Tell me nothing's happening.
Nothing's happening. A couple of artillery rounds at dawn, probably from across the river, but...
Be careful, man.
I mean, they're still fighting. Yeah.
Of course. And look, are there a lot of Germans that are tired of the fighting? Yes. Are there going to be a few that are real cornered and will just do whatever? Yes. And I think you got to be careful about that.
There's a serious resistance after Hitler died, right?
Yeah.
Patrick O'Keefe, my friends call me Patty.
Look, I feel like they're probably both a little extreme here. It's like, I don't know how relaxed I'd be at the same time.
Hey, O'Brien. Shut up. Do you know why no one remembers your name? It's because no one wants to remember your name. Replacing Toccoa men. That you dumb replacements got killed in the first place. They're all piss and vinegar. Where the crowd's at. Let me at them. When do I get to jump into Berlin? 2 days later, there they are. With their blood and guts hanging out. I got hot chow, hot showers, warm bed. Germany is almost as good as being home. So quit asking about when you're gonna see some action, will you? And stop with the fucking love songs.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, man. They've been in combat since D-Day. Some of these guys, that's insane, and almost nonstop.
It's been 2 years since I seen home.
Jeez.
2 years.
No, I'm out.
All right. Well, I'll call you two.
He's drinking a lot. I feel like they're emphasizing it.
Yeah, I mean, some of them, but same with the other captain, dude. He's like, you know, taking a lot of stuff back to his family. Like, it's just interesting seeing kind of like as the war wanes and maybe some of the discipline or kind of belief in the cause, what people go to.
Go ahead and deal me out of the next hand. What about your money?
Are we waiting on him again?
Yep.
Jeez. Dude, you can't be... This guy's probably like innocent. Well, not probably, but he could be totally innocent.
Sir. Since you're here... Yeah.
I wonder if something's going on with him, like back home or something.
I'm having some trouble finding some whiskey.
Well, I feel like the majority of it, right, was the drop.
Yeah.
Because he has to write all those people.
Don't I know? And even if I do find some, sir, it ain't gonna be cheap.
Well, that won't be a problem.
Shoot, man. Freaking Tom Hardy.
300,000 Krauts just surrendered.
300?
Yeah. We're moving out in an hour. 1 hour? Yeah.
Sir, your mail.
I feel he needs a break, like, or something.
Yeah.
Dang.
Or he's just a little too, like, far gone at this point. Not, like, mentally, but just, like, as far as addiction or whatever, dependency, however you want to think about it.
Dog? Hello? Katz is divorcing me.
What?
What? Oh my
no. Are
gosh.
you kidding me?
She's taking the house. I'm taking the kid. She's taking the dog. It's not even her dog. It's my dog. She's taking my dog.
Shoot, dude. That's horrible.
Damn.
Right now, that's like the worst thing ever.
What for SS, huh?
Dang, man.
Hey, looks like gonna get you wish anyway, Flannery. Those guys? Fucking crazy.
I don't know if a lot of them were Waffen SS though. Not.
Were they not?
Not all of them, because I know there's a decent amount of them that were desperate to just protect their homes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of like messages and stuff like that were circling. Like they were using that as like fear.
It is interesting to see the kind of like, despite what everybody's going through, there is a general lifting of spirits. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. Everything's going wrong for the Knicks, man.
That's
Shoot.
so horrible.
I hope nothing happens, because they're really focusing on him.
Yeah, and he was so like he didn't shoot his gun. I don't know.
What's it about? It's about why we're fighting the war. Why are we fighting the war, Janovic? It seems that the Germans are... You don't say. The Germans are bad, huh? Hey, Frank, this guy's reading an article over here that says the Germans are bad.
You mean all this time you've been talking about Harvard this and Harvard that, and you ain't even been...
Told you anything? Oh. Yes, I haven't finished. So the fuck what?
All right, well, breathe a little. Jesus.
Okay. I mean, they're looking for.
Hey, actually, yeah, this guy says he ain't a Nazi. Now, why is it in all of Germany?
You got 4 minutes. I'm a kid to come.
Come in here. He's a kind of Nazi. Come on. Let's go.
I mean, that sucks. At the same time, it's like, look, we got a hole up somewhere. Whoa. That's a crazy shot.
That is.
That's really cool. Are you so confident somebody's not going to do something, either German or Americans?
That's right! You stupid crab bastards! That's right! Settle on a Ford! And General fucking stupid fascist pigs! Look at you! You have horses! What were you thinking?
That's enough, Webster.
That was a funny thing to insult them with. Like,
I know.
Servile scum! What the fuck are we doing here?
You can tell he went to Harvard.
Yeah, I was gonna say his insults are different.
Dang it, man. Freaking what's gonna happen to Nix? British? Yeah. No? Who are they? Jeez.
French? Were they French?
I want to send out some patrols. I have a dog here in the village eating fox in the woods. No. Just in case we have to stay here for the night.
No, we just gotta be careful.
What are we doing here?
Oh, okay.
It's never good to follow like the small patrol group.
I know, man.
Why the hell are you so jumpy, boy?
I'm not jumpy. I'm fine.
Shit. Can hear your
Who's
heart
that guy
pounding in
again?
Arkansas, boy.
I forget.
Who's the guy?
Jesus Christ, give the kid a break, Bull.
Bull.
Yeah, or something.
Hey, Judge. Kind of reminds you of Bastogne.
Yeah, not in a good way.
Yeah, now that you mention it.
I don't want it to remind us of
Except because there's no
Bastogne.
snow. We got warm grub in our bellies. And the trees aren't fucking exploding from crop.
Oh, dude, I swear I'm so worried.
Other than that, it's a lot like Bastogne.
Right?
Full
I
smack.
like how you said right.
Thank you.
You better be careful, man. Like, there could be somebody here aside from everything else you're dealing with. Oh. You better be careful, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
It's kind of an interesting interaction.
it's like at the same time, you know, like he wasn't doing anything.
No, I think that almost there's like a recognition of like humanity in a weird way.
It's like that
between the
dude
two
was
of them. Because it's like
you
he feels a
know?
little guilty, you know what I mean?
That's true.
He's right, fellas.
Oh no, what's happening?
Shush,
Shoot.
shush, shush. Be careful, guys. Oh no. Do we even have like a radio at all if something does happen?
I feel like they would. No. It's like fire.
I don't. Oh gosh, did they find a camp or something?
Oh, maybe you're right. Because it didn't look like they were. How should I
no,
say?
no.
Like ready to fight or something.
Go, go, go! Hey, they probably found a camp, dude.
Hey, Pop. Pop, I hear you officers. Take some phone.
All the Spears are searching their buildings right down the street. What's the matter?
More. You see any of the officers?
We need officers.
We came across this.
What? Frank, what is it?
I don't know, sir.
Oh gosh.
Or maybe it's like not.
Yeah, what is it?
Is it like some sort of like burned?
Is it like a
body? Oh no! Wait, it looks like a camp.
It looks like a camp, right? Am I crazy?
Yeah. I just for some reason the way that he was acting.
But like up in the mountains? Oh jeez. Did they get out? Like, are some of them still? Yeah, they're alive, right?
Yeah, they're all still. Well, yeah, this should remind them of like the purpose, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's an understatement. Do we have food, supplies? Come on.
I don't know if you want to give them too much food, though.
Open it up, sir.
Stand back. Give us some room here. Stand back.
Lipton, find me Liebgott.
Yes, sir.
Liebgott! 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 Major needs you up front right now.
Sure.
All right, boy.
Jeez. Jeez. Is that guy still alive? Oh my gosh.
Sorry. Okay, take some water.
Careful.
Zuvor verbrannten sie noch einige der Baracken.
They burned some of the huts first.
Jeez.
Dang.
Just for kicks?
They're still in them, sir. Alive.
Jesus Christ. Aber einige von den Gefangenen haben sie versucht, daran zu
Some
hindern.
of the prisoners to try to stop.
Die Wachen hatten nicht genügt.
They didn't have enough ammo for all the prisoners, so
Sie töteten so viele sie konnten.
they killed as many as they could.
Jeez, thank God that they didn't. You know what I mean?
Und gingen
Locked the
Richtung
gates
Süden.
behind them and headed south.
Someone in town must have told them we were coming.
Yeah, I think so.
Will you ask him what kind of camp this is?
Did they not?
Do they not know?
No. I mean, I suppose they not all of them would.
Das ist ein Arbeitslager für Unerwünschte, wirklich.
He says it's a work camp for, I'm not sure what the word means, sir.
Jews?
Unwanted? Disliked, maybe?
Criminals?
I don't think criminals, sir. Verbrecher?
Nein.
No.
Ärzte, Musiker, Beamte, Bauern,
Doctors, musicians,
Schreiber, Schneider.
farmers, intellectuals, I mean, normal people.
Juden.
They're Jews.
Polen, Zigeuner.
Liebgott?
The women's camp is...
Jeez. That's crazy. I didn't even think about the idea that you had at least some soldiers having no concept of what was happening. I mean, that's just horrifying. I wonder how many more people died just from like these people are so malnourished, and it's like there's no way we have the resources to deal with this.
Find Spears and figure out how the hell to get him some food and water.
Jeez.
Was machen Sie da? Halt! Stehen bleiben! Bringen
Yeah.
Sie das sofort wieder zurück! Das ist eine Sauerei!
Take it off. Check the back and shut up.
I mean, kind of understandable.
Wieder zurückgehen! Sie sollten das sofort wieder zurückbringen!
Oh gosh.
Shut up, you Nazi fuck! How about a human being? You one of those? Or are you gonna tell me that you never smelled the fucking stench?
Töten Sie mich nicht, bitte. Bitte töten Sie mich nicht. Ich verstehe nicht, was Sie da sagen.
Webby says he doesn't know what the hell you're talking about.
Bullshit.
Yeah, no, I mean...
It's very understandable on both sides.
Of course, and it's like maybe he doesn't, maybe he does.
Wait, we're just giving this out for
yeah,
just
I think
free
so.
for all.
They're just chucking it to them.
I don't know if that's.
It is
good.
chaos.
Please.
You might kill them, right?
How do you mean?
You know, like if a
Just like
dehydrated
stampede,
person. No, if a dehydrated person, you give them too much water, they will drown themselves.
wait,
and the same with food.
Sir?
I think they're just trying to solve problems as they see them.
It's Dr. Kent, the regimental surgeon. Now, Doc, you tell Major Winters, Captain Nixon, what you just told me.
Yes, sir. We need to stop giving these men food.
Oh,
exactly.
Here we go. Okay,
They're
okay.
starving.
You want us to lock these people back up? We got no choice, man.
Otherwise, they might
That's
scatter.
horrible, though.
We need to keep them centralized so we can supervise their food intake and medical treatment. So,
It's crying ass chamber. Let's get it done.
yes, sir. I'm not getting any more than you guys.
This is like the horrible middle ground that you have to deal with.
Well, because like if you want to actually save these people, you have to make hard decisions.
Of course, that makes sense.
We found something I believe you ought to see, sir.
Can't tell him that, sir.
Got to, Joe.
It's like, look, we can't have all these people dying either.
Yeah, and we have to keep them together. Like
It's so horrible.
it is. It's
though.
rough. That is really bad.
That's so horrible.
These prisoners have to be put back into camp immediately. Let the men know.
And like, they may never understand that ever. I like that we see this guy too, because I feel like he's kind of like a smart ass for like a lot of the show. Kind of, that just kind of had that like.
Oh, really?
personality. I think a
I
little
can't
bit.
remember exactly.
But just to see him like.
Okay. Yeah.
Broken.
All of them. Yeah.
Turns out I'm staying in the only dry friggin' house in Germany.
Maybe.
Thought you weren't drinking the local.
Yeah, well.
Heard from division. Seems the Russians liberated one a lot worse.
Worse.
Yeah.
Locals claim that they never even knew the camp existed. They say we're exaggerating.
Well, they're gonna have a hell of an education tomorrow. Ordered every able-bodied German in town aged 14 to 80 to start burying the body. 10th Armored are gonna supervise cleanup.
What about us?
We head out for Talem tomorrow.
That's very interesting that it wasn't well known about like what the Germans
concentration
were doing.
camps. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the people at least claiming that they don't know anything about it. It's like, I have a hard time believing that. I mean, in a way, I think it's kind of good they had to do this. And it's also, we just need the men anyway. We don't have body. We don't have manpower. It's crazy too, the idea that like, let's say some of these people even were like for it and knew about it and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of kind of when you're forced to face that humanity, it has a different effect than when you're kind of distant from it or when you don't think about it or when you're not having to do it yourself. You know what I mean?
He's dead.
Holy shit.
Shot himself in Berlin. Is the war over, sir?
No.
No.
We have orders to back this guy, and we're gonna move out 1 hour. Why?
So that was like a flashback.
Yeah.
Right.
That was a flashback to a month before.
But he didn't.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea that it's like the music evoked this sort of memory.
Yeah, that is interesting.
That's really cool. Wow. Yeah, what'd you think?
That was solid. I liked that. I could kind of see the themes of this one pretty clearly.
Yeah, I mean the title's called "Why We Fight," right?
And so, which is fine. Every once in a while, like I'm totally down with it being more a little more like on the nose, but they did it in a good way, kind of. I like that in the beginning we kind of see the soldiers, all of them, kind of act a little bit like. I mean, it's not like, they're not like being horrific or anything like that. But it's like, they're kind of just
they're just taking it less seriously. The war's over almost. You know what I mean? And it's like you feel that anxiousness and that kind of like, all right, we're here. We're like, let me just get stuff for me or hook up with girls or do it. Like, I don't really care anymore about the war.
Yeah.
They've probably been fighting a lot less. They're getting fed well. They're, all these things.
Yeah, it's winding down.
And you have even that, what I really like actually how they tied it is with that, like the replacement, that young replacement. And you have the older guy kind of being like, dude, I don't, all the shiny idealism that I came to Europe with, it's gone. I don't care anymore. I'm sick of it. I just want to break. I want to go home. And then to kind of have everyone have this like reset reminder of like, oh, this is why, you know what I mean? Like this is the fight. This is the, even to go to the newspaper thing of like, oh, the Germans are evil. Ha ha ha. But like, this is what you're fighting. Like this right here.
Yeah. And I like that it kind of applied to everyone in a way. Like, the younger replacement guy was being very gung-ho, right? And then after seeing that, I feel like he realizes now, the horrors of it and the real kind of like, situation that they were thrown into.
Yeah.
And with I know I see him a lot.
I know all the guys. I don't always remember their names. Anyway.
Yeah, the guy that was like kind of like you're saying, he was like, oh, I just want to go home.
Yeah.
Right.
He was reading the book.
He almost kind of like, how should I say, has more respect for the actual purpose, and like it wasn't just like, oh, I'm just doing it,
Sure.
And I feel like, yeah, that was a cool way to kind of like bring both sides to kind of like together, for a sole purpose, a reminder of like, we didn't just jump into the war for like no reason kind of idea,
Sure. Without like, I think they did a good job of not losing sight of, I don't know, the complex issues that we're still dealing with here, where it's like you still have German citizens, you still have all these sorts of things, and like, even if they were a part of it, you can't be killing people. You can't be. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like that. Like I said, they had a good kind of like balance between the two sides, and they were able to show it effectively. Like the lady with the
husband,
who was like
higher ranking officer, right?
Yeah,
was he SS?
I feel like he was.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly.
He was a high ranking officer in the German.
It just felt like that.
Sure.
But like to show that like Nix kind of was like, oh, okay, like maybe I shouldn't be doing this. But then also on the other side of things, it's like, well, you see why we did this almost. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting.
It is. Dude, it's very interesting, and I think that, I don't know, it kind of makes me think of like, kind of like the importance of ideals, even in this situation. It kind of goes back to that one episode where the commanding officer wasn't so great. I don't know. It just kind of makes me think of that, where it's like, look, I don't know, maybe this is really unfair, but I can't help but think like if you were to take the modern mentality and put them in this exact same situation, it's like a lot more people would die.
You mean the mentality of just like, oh,
or just like whatever. And I think that it's, I don't know, it's like seeing like horribly complicated just issues like this that kind of, at least to me, is like that the only thing that stopped us from being like a slaughter the other direction was kind of this like discipline or like this sense of like, all right.
Oh, you mean like to not?
Yeah, like my immediate thought is like, dude, are you kidding me? Like to see the soldiers and to see that, like, I feel like, I don't know. I
mean, you remember they definitely did water down some stuff, right? We're not getting into like the nitty gritty of, remember, yeah, in the occupation of like Germany and stuff like that, a lot of really, really horrific things happened.
What do you mean? Like in what are you referencing, I suppose?
Well, I mean, you know, like the mass rape of women and stuff like that, right? That occurred, like the largest mass rape in history.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was, I mean, you know, there's a lot of stuff. And even, yeah, I mean, there's just, like I said, we don't need to get into that type of stuff because it's not the main kind of like idea.
And to be fair, it wasn't everyone.
Yeah, it wasn't.
You know what I mean?
It wasn't.
It's that's just how numbers go.
Yeah, and the Americans were very kind of like aware of like, you know, order and laws, and like, for example, like the Geneva Convention. I think they were one of the most like, you know, loyal to it or
yeah, it's
respectful
just,
of it.
I don't know. Like, I guess just the more I think about it, the more it makes me think that it's like the reason we talk about war being so horrible is not the death on the battlefield, actually. And that's like, obviously that's part of it. I'm not trying to kind of take away from that pain or sorrow or whatever, but I feel like the really horrible aspect of it is like what it brings out in people, like what it necessarily, almost unavoidably brings out in people, no matter how kind of good or moral of a society that you have or just of a thing. It's like there is this brutal, animalistic like side that is brought out in war, and no matter how careful you are or how good or just you are, which sadly isn't always the case, but even in it is, it's like there is a portion of people that will go against that.
Yeah.
And that's what's horrible.
I mean, the thing is that,
like, that's the true horror.
It's that kind of, like you were kind of saying, if you have that lack of discipline, like I'm assuming you're the modern mentality of like, you know, kind of just going with what you feel. I feel like things are a lot more like that.
Like kind of righteously just. Like there's kind of a lot of righteous anger now. And I understandably so, but like when you see it in a complex situation like that, it's like, bro, you can't, there's no time for that. It doesn't matter whether you think it's wrong that these Jews have to go back in the concentration camp. They have to. They're literally going to die. Or whatever it is. Like, it doesn't matter that you think these Germans didn't know about it. It's like, you can't go and slaughter a town. You can't. Yeah. You can't go rape women. Like, you can't do that just because you're not thinking. I don't know. And it just makes me think now, and maybe that's like, maybe I'm kind of stretching here and people are going to be like, oh, it's silly. But it makes me think now, you know, you always hear people talk about like, oh, you know, what would happen if whatever, America went to war now, or our modern society went to war now. And it's like, what really horrifies me is like when things like this happen, where it's like, I feel like you need that structure. And I feel like to a certain extent we've lost that. And I just,
yeah, but I feel like
it makes me wonder what that would look like.
It might be unfair to compare all of like modern kind of like society to it.
Yeah, I know I'm making a huge generalization here. I'm not.
I mean, you remember, because keep in mind, like the military is still fairly, you know, disciplined. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so it's hard to kind of like, I don't know, like put it into those theoretical type of questions, because I feel like, yeah,
no. I'm not like, I don't mean that in an accusatory way. I almost mean it more in like a reflection where it's like, I just...
Yeah. I can see that.
I don't know. It seems to me it's like these are times where that's important. Like you ask why that kind of stuff is important. It's because it's like when it's not getting tested, truly tested, not like, you know, I'm angry and traffic tested, or even just like, oh, somebody, you know, a crime happened, or like somebody died get run over at a drunk drive. Like when it's like tested, like in times like this, when it's truly tested, like that's when you need almost like naive commitment to justice.
Yeah, and ideals are important, and kind of like
even if it's almost like blind, you know what I mean? Like you could think of it as like it's naive and blinded, but it's like you need that because like you're not thinking in a situation like this. You're not, and you have to be able to rely on that like practiced instinct of morals. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting because if you don't have that, if you don't have something kind of guiding you, you will, it's kind of like what happened to Germany, right? Stuff can get out of hand.
Yeah. It was a good episode. And like, I think it was really, really well done. And like you said, I think it was a little bit different. I still think they captured some of the nuance, and I like.
No, they 100% did. I think they 100%
I like that they still were able to show like some of the Germans like crying and just I like that even when touching on a topic kind of this delicate, the show didn't lose its nuance. Just because it was afraid of kind of like, I don't know, the sensitivity of the topic. I mean, I'm even afraid kind of talking about it, not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I really liked about it was that it didn't swing hard in any direction. Like it showed like, it
stayed consistent with what the show is presented for the whole show.
Like how real it is, you know, like, it's sad. Like, you know, they're showing some of those French soldiers executing some Germans. It's like, wow, was that right? I don't know. But then you see the other side of it and it's like, wow, you know, look at what they did and what we fought for. You know what I'm saying? I like that they didn't miss both of those points, which is good.
And it's so wild to me. And that's why this is a good show and it's really well done. But it's so wild to me how even in this, which I feel like as wars go, it's kind of as black and white as it gets. And it's not, even then, it's still not very black and white. But I guess my point is, especially in modern times, but really any war, like if you look back, it's like, this is kind of as clear as it gets.
It's so hard
as
to find
as like good versus evil. And to see even then, like the level of complexity and horror and humanity that suffers on every single side, no matter what decision, like almost every decision that every single individual in this show makes, you could have somebody on the other side going, well, you should have done this thing here. You should have done and it's like, oh gosh, like that's the horror of war. Like that.
Yeah.
More than just the numbers of lives lost. It's like that kind of thing and like what it brings out in people.
Yeah.
And the decisions it forces people to make, which I feel like no one should have to make. Like nobody should have to make that. Even the guy telling like the Jews to go back, like nobody should have to do that. And that's you know, in comparison to other things, kind of mild, strangely.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just kind of what it makes me think.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, let us know what you guys think. I'd love to kind of open up a discussion here. I feel so silly saying like full length reaction. Anyway, you know all the stuff. Thanks for watching. You know, if you're new here, welcome. And if you want to stick around, we will see you all in the next video.